Never gets old watching you laugh, feeling your kiss, kissing me back. I never get tired of that. No, it never gets old. It never gets old holding your hands. Gonna stay young, being your man, loving you over and over again. No, it never gets old. Might wear me out sometimes, but it never gets old. Love.
Okay, so I'm getting ready to drink my Kate Farms milkshake for protein and calories.
What's up, peeps?
Heath Bar already drank his chocolate protein milkshake.
I didn't drink it all. I'm still drinking it.
He's still drinking it. So, anyway, we've had a good week, as you've seen in previous clips of this video. But I also thought that I would give an update on my neurology appointment and something new we learned about my seizures.
That would be great.
Yeah, You're so silly. Anyway, so first of all, this was our first time seeing this new doctor for the first time, so he's great.
The first time in forever.
Right, remember that, doc? So anyway, he was great. He's very kind, very nice, listens very well, all the important things that you want a doctor to do.
Oh, I got a side note real quick.
Okay.
What, was he like all your other doctors? Was he okay being filmed? Or did you not film?
I did not film. I didn't even ask because honestly, and I'll say, so typically, you know, I do film some things, like they obviously don't mind. Here's the deal. I don't ever want to go up to a doctor or anybody and be like, which Heath already knows this, but I'm just, you know, saying, oh, I do YouTube, so I'm just going to film you for content, you know, kind of thing. But, like, when we have milestones at the cardiologist or when we have updates, I want to show you guys a glimpse of my life because that's what I'm here to do. Like, it's not that I want to, you know, use others for content, but my content sometimes has to be where I am, if that makes sense. So, like, if I'm doing, if we're filming like an EKG or something, or we're showing that I'm in the cardiology appointment, whatever,
right,
then that's where I am and that's where the doctor is going to be. And I don't film the whole appointment. I will never do that. I just give you guys a glimpse of what it's like living in my life, basically. Or our life, because it's our life together now. But, like, you know, what it's like to go through something like that. And so I did not film any of the appointment this time. First and foremost, this was my first time meeting the doctor, and I did not know what to expect. And we honestly had to go through a lot of things we will not have to go through in future appointments. Literally health, medical stuff from when I was when I was born, literally.
Did he do this?
Yes, he did. Stop it. He did check the reflexes. And he was intrigued, okay? He looked at me like, why did you do that? And I was like, I mean, you know? Anyway, cerebral palsy at its finest. So I didn't film that because I just didn't, it wasn't necessary that time. And I knew I'd give you all an update.
I just thought they would like to know why you do or don't film some of your doctors.
Yeah. So some I film if I've been there for a while. Or sometimes the doctors will even say, because they know I do YouTube, they'll say, do you want to video this? And I'm like, sure. But I never will film it without their permission. Or if we're in there by ourselves without the doctor, then I can film whatever I want to. But anyway.
Right.
I don't film at all my doctors, mainly the doctors I film at. I do not film at my primary doctor because I just don't think that's necessary, y'all. Everybody goes to one. But I do film sometimes glimpses at specialty doctors because they're not something you see every day unless you live a medically fragile life and stuff like that.
Right.
But you may get glimpses next time. We'll see. I can't promise anything, but we'll see. Now, for the update, basically, he said, so I am stable right now, which is really good news to hear.
That's great.
Epilepsy, though, is hard. And It's not anything that I will stop living my life to the fullest. I'm not going to live in fear of it. But I also am going to be realistic and say this is something that I'm literally walking by faith on, because you don't get to predict your seizures, as the doctor says. You don't know when they're going to happen. You may know some triggers, but the brain does what it wants. Seizures do what they want, and epilepsy just doesn't care. So, with that being said, I do see him again in 6 months. We're not making any changes right now. However, in 6 months, he is going to make a change to my treatment plan. I'm not going to go into detail right now what that is, but he is going to make, I don't know if he's going to make a full change yet or a slight change. I don't think it's going to be a complete full change, but I do think he's going to add something, and I don't know what else. But he said we would talk about it more next time, and I said that was fine. I am a little nervous, but not so much right now, because again, we have like 6 months, so I literally am not genuinely not nervous. But what the reason for that is, so I have auras sometimes at night, where before I do have a seizure, I will always taste metal or smell fingernail polish. But the main thing is I do get the metallic taste, like every time, all the time, always happens. That's just what happens. I have temporal lobe epilepsy. But what we found out, the neurologist, was an aura should only last so long. And if you're having them often or more frequent, and it's a tasting metal kind of thing, that is an actual seizure as well. Oops, I didn't know that. So we know that it's not going to be 100% seizure free, which I'm not against that. Again, I'm just realistic, and I can't set that boundary, because again, you don't know. You can't predict seizures. You don't know. But I would be okay with lessening that happening. I didn't think about that until he actually brought it up to me, because at first I was like, I don't know that we should change anything, you know what I'm saying? But after just processing it with him and listening to him, I was like, yeah, next time we can definitely talk about it. I'm fine. And then when I got home, I was able to, he wasn't pushy about it. That's sort of really like some doctors, I don't think they mean to, but they're like, well, we need to change this now because this is, I don't have time to process stuff like that. Don't do that, okay? Just unless it's a legit emergency, do not do that, because that's really hard to take. Anyway, so, I even processed it that day, and I was like, yeah, that does make sense. Like, he wants to lessen the seizure activity, since there is seizure activity happening. Hopefully we don't, but let's say we have one the next 6 months. He does want a video of one, just so he can kind of get a glimpse of what they look like whenever I do have them. They are on the chart, but it is easier for a neurologist to see a video at firsthand of a seizure happening. That just gives them an idea. They already know what it is, but for those who aren't aware or don't know, it still helps them see that they're seeing what they already know, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He also said that he wanted old videos, like literally back 8 years ago when I was having the seizures before treatment, and I don't know if I can get that. I'm literally gonna try, but the thing is, I tried a couple times and they're like literally expired because they were old iPhones, so I don't know if I'm able to do that, but I will do my best, because obviously, hopefully not gonna have one like that I had before. Anyway, so that's what he said. So that was something new that we learned, and it was hard to process, but I'm also in good hands, if that makes sense. So that's what we found out. We had a good week. I went out afterwards and we went and did all the things you saw beforehand, and yeah. You want to say anything else before?
Yeah, thank you for all the new subscribers.
Yeah, thank you.
Continue
Keep coming.
subscribing.
Yeah, for sure.
Hit the like button. Hit
Do
the
it.
little bean
Bell icon.
icon thing, so you know we're on.
Sorry guys, my leverage.
And just keep enjoying our wacky videos.
On that note, I'm taking my shake. See y'all later.
Click.